don't like it. How many days away? It's like 6 days. As I'm filming this, we're like 6 days away from the 3, 2, 2, 2.
Hola, hola.
Okay,
That's my bestie in the background. She dropped a video at 12:52
The more I remember my
a.m.
connection to the divine,
Very
the more
proud of her.
easily money flows to me. The more I remember my connection to the divine, the more easily money flows to me.
Put my miracles flow to me, so I guess it's the same thing. Oh, my bad, I forgot something.
Like wherever you're
Thank you
exhausted,
for your
you're
patience.
really looking at that. Like, why am I exhausted here? Why am I dealing with that person? I'm seeing that you're also going to be rolling the dice more like, I'm going to see what's going to happen for me. I'm going to go with the flow. I'm going to listen to my intuition. You're not going to be letting people hold you back that are in a position of authority. Sorry, I thought I was going to pull more, but I'm just channeling more. I'm seeing that whoever wanted to have a showdown with you, they're finally folding. They're giving in. What's the word? Where they fold.
It's a lot
They're
better.
asking for mercy. They're like, wait.
They give
I
me
don't
that
actually
glaze.
want to do all of that. So there are some people in a position of authority. There are going to be, not all, but a couple of them that I feel like you have to work with are seeing that they have
Bestie,
to
I'll be right back to you. Crushed and raisin, that's a little too fast. But how is everybody feeling out there on this beautiful, beautiful, whatever days you may happen to land on this episode of, let's just say, I was going to say No Filter with daily motivation and think differently, right? It's the 3 planetary alignments happening within this month. So I figured it's fitting to do 3 episodes blended into one. All right, so let's just get into it. I was watching my bestie over there, Brittany the Cosmic Wifey. I highly recommend my collective intuitive demographic to go follow her. She's everything that you need to help guide you through your self-development spiritual journey. I was just watching my last video I did earlier, or I did yesterday. Time blends in together, me quantum leaping and so forth. Forgive me if I'm ever confused on what days it is. Hence, at the beginning of my episodes, I now say welcome those that join whatever days it may be whenever you land, because our messages are timeless. But I happened to look at my last video like I like to do, just to make sure it's good for the collective. And a lot of times I do the videos, I forget what I even do. I just get the inclination to do a video for the collective and I do it. And then when I watch my Charlie's Angels, they help me understand my steps that I need to take and not repeat certain steps due to my trauma and everything I'm going through. Because I found myself explaining again, but my ancestor says it's okay to do that as a learning tool, but not to get so in depth and release sacred information. So I find myself getting, I said that wrong. So when I'm watching my Charlie's Angels break down the messages, it helps me understand my repeated cycles that I may happen to go through, because things are happening so rapidly. It's just hard to get, not hard. At times it can be challenging to stay balanced without allowing your left shoulder and your anger and your disappointment to lash out at moments. And I saw a video on Instagram. I forgot what her name is. She reminds me of Storm too, a blonde-headed Amazon woman. She's very gorgeous. She has golden eyes. I forgot what her name is. She has an island accent, very sexy. But she said I forgot who I was. And when I saw that, I understand what she meant. Because I never feel like I forget who I am, but how can I say this? It's just it's when you're in so many realms. If you know, you know what I'm speaking about. It's like you're meeting frequencies of everybody. It's just like you're Captain Kirk and you're going to different planet to different planet, and interacting with different species and different cultures, and you can blend in with everybody. So that is basically how Spirit Team is like painting a picture for me, so I can describe it for you all. Because like my mission and the collective's mission is like Captain Planet. That's right. I was sitting over there and it just kept saying Captain Planet. And I saw Moon on my notification. She just dropped a new video, so I'm going to check her out. And it just made me think about, that's our job, collective, is we're all a part. We're all members of the Captain Planet team. Oh, I like that. I'm about to slap a bitch. We're all members of the Captain Planet team, and if this video happens to cut out, that's the main gist. We all need to start delegating our roles. Like, for instance, Maja got the T, said she's the head of the collective. Brittany, the Cosmic Wifey, says she's the best on YouTube doing the damn thing, okay? She's a spiritual accountant amongst so many other ranks. All of my collective, Charlie's Angels, are multifaceted. Moon, she's like the spiritual, musical guru. Light is a spiritual psychiatrist, amongst other things. Dagina, she's like a spiritual hippie love goddess that she helps just get you connected to Mother Gaia, you know what I mean? Loving nature and so forth. Michelle Malore is a soldier, I love her smoky, raspy voice, you know what I mean? She just don't play games, just like Brittany, the Cosmic Wife, you know what I mean? She's a badass. She's been through it all, and she's going through it still, like all of us are, and she don't put up with no shit. So she's like a spiritual soldier, you know what I mean? She gets you delegated, right? She gets you organized, and she gets you to avoid the pitfalls and the traps, amongst other things. She's multi-talented, like everybody else is. And so forth and so forth. And Chosen 144, he's a badass. Like, he's like a spiritual guile from Street Fighter, you know what I'm saying? He'll just hit you with the flash kicks. He'll let you know, man, this person's doing some demon work on your ass. You better watch your ass out, you know what I'm saying? Avoid this person. Fucking, you're right, man, you know what I mean? I love his Australian accent, too. He's like, what's up, fucking fam? I love your fucking Spirit Team. But like, just his steez is awesome. So like, that's our style. That's our job now, is to delegate positions like the Captain America team. Just like Captain America and Avengers. We all got to have our positions and play our parts. Forgive me for talking fast. I'm just getting the downloads before I forget. So everyone needs to get their roles in order, like the first class X-Men team. So we know how to delegate this new Earth. And all seeing Isis, she's a spiritual badass too, you know what I mean? She reminds me of Jubilee from X-Men. That's what her name was. I forgot a few videos ago. She's Jubilee. She's inner child spirit. She keeps her inner child alive. So she's like a spiritual inner child healer. That's a definition. That's a label. It's not, you know what I mean? It's a picture that I'm painting for my Spirit Team. The best I can describe her as I'm going on a fly. And so many other people out here that has roles that need to solidify what it is, so we all know what we're doing and how we're going to help the collective as a whole. So that's a first step to Genosha in building our school for the gifted. That's already been trademarked by me, so don't worry about stealing it. So that's the main part of this mission, or this download, was just to say thank you, collective, for doing what you do. Now it's time to get roles in order so we can all work as a team and we all know what our duties are until we meet physically, and then we can have a think tank, brainstorm, and we can figure out more. We're building together. This is not permanent. It's just a form of our foundation, how we're going to operate in the school for the gifted at Genosha, okay? So that's just a nugget right there. Brittany, the Cosmic Wifey. I know you're my Barbara Gordon. So you want to communicate. Obviously, we can't communicate the same way we used to. I love how we're communicating now, but I really want, it's that time. So DM me. That's the best way. DM me, right? And then we can continue the line of communication that way, because on your TikTok, you don't allow DM messages and so forth. So, you know what I mean? Figure out a way to communicate with me, and then we can talk more about bada bings, bada booms, Genosha and so forth, the plans and yada yadas. But I was looking at my last video. That's that for that topic for now, collective. I love you all. Keep on doing what you're doing. Keep on doing what you're doing. If I forgot anybody's names, forgive me. You all know who you are, and you're kicking ass. Oh, and Aeon, A-E-O-N. She's a new member of the collective right now. She's a badass. I love her. She's, how can I describe her? She's like a Sharon Stone of the spiritual squad. Yeah, man. She's like a Kill Bill. Like, she's a Kill Bill character in my mind's eye, how my spirit team's presenting her. Like, she don't put up with no shit either. And she just has no cut cards. She's been through a lot, tough journey, and she gets straight to the point, but she has a nice steez to her, a nice style. It's very chill, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's chill vibe. We're working on labels right now and nicknames, whatever you want to call it. And so what's your role? That's a good question. That's a great question. I was about to. Right now, I would say Charles Xavier / Magneto. Yeah. Rashad Jamal brought up a good point. He said he's Apocalypse from Apocalypse, the movie, the third installation, I believe, of the First Class movie, of the newer version of the X-Men. And that was a perfect analogy. I was like, that's damn near accurate. Yeah, okay, I like that. I like that a lot. And I know what he means, how the roles are reversed and so forth. But just for analogy purposes, I'll say I'm Charles Xavier and Magneto, even though they were against Apocalypse. But I fuck with Rashad Jamal. So I'm not against him by any means, but just for character purposes. If you know what I mean. Yada yadas. For you people that want to try to break it all down. Oh my God, you saying that, Magneto? Whatever. So yeah, that's my role for now. Raisinets are good. So I was watching my last video, and I did see. Oh yeah, what was I talking about? That one shorty on Instagram with the blonde hair. She looks like Storm 2 with the island accent. She was talking about I lost myself, and I think I did address that. How I feel like Captain Kirk, just going to different planets and just meeting people at their frequencies and doing my job. Yeah, that's what it is. So I'm interacting with the 3D world, 5D world, and other dimensions, astral traveling. So it's like, it's a journey. That's what it is. It's a journey. I'm working through it, y'all. I love y'all to death. So hence I'm saying this. But there'll be times that I'll just be operating in obedience, and it may not make sense. And it's not going to make sense for those that it's not meant to make sense for. It may be redundant with my message, but being a life coach and having this responsibility, redundance is just a sister of success. So that's my mission for repetition, to stain your brain so you can learn it and repeat it to your next generation and so forth. I'm not just going to say it once and then you forget it, because a lot of people's attention span is like this, the size of a gnat. So we need to be very careful on what information we digest and allow into our souls, because we are what we eat, essentially. So I'm working on the path as best as I can. And when I say to appease everybody, that's my heart speaking, but God reminds me quickly and sharply that I need to appease God first and foremost. So, it's just what it is. You're going to have, as a vigilante, you're going to have your lovers, you're going to have your haters, you're going to have your Switzerlands. What's Switzerland? You're going to have your neutral demographic.
you're going to have people that have an image of how the chosen one should look like and operate. And I'm always been humble, so it's just, you know what I mean? God reminds me, walk and talk what you are. You know, you are who you are. You know, you are the Alpha and the Omega. You were here before time and so forth. And it's so awesome to know that. I'm working on how to operate. It's like Joseph from the story, you know what I mean? The biblical story. Got sold out by his brothers, and now I'm here in royalty, and now they're here, and now should I give them the same energy or should I reciprocate with love? And I'm reciprocating with love always. That's love is the most powerful force that breaks the generational curses. And that helps usher in a new legacy, a new chapter. We don't want to do no Fredo Godfather actions. Take him out on his last fishing trip. We don't want to do that. So I'm allowing Spirit Team to do the Paulie hands and so forth. As tough as it is, which is just an analogy I'm saying. I need to put more of my faith into God and allow my spirit team to do that, because like I said before, I like cleaning my own dirty laundry. I don't like asking for help. It's just something in me from the past or whatever. I just like doing things on my own because I know I can get that result done. Hence my name is Mr. Does It All, you know. I used to rely on other people to get things done, and then you just be waiting for them and their time, their tempo, their excuses and so forth. And then I'm looking in my mind's eye and I can see how I can do it on my own. I'm a one-man army. And so I would be doing that at my construction jobs when I was doing construction back in the day, and my boss would come in after he did his runs or whatever, and then look around. It's like, fuck, man, Zoe, I'm very fucking proud of you. When you're focused, you can kick ass, right? And that's how I look at things. I look at things as puzzle pieces. And when people say you can't, then immediately my mind goes to how come that person says you can't. And then I find out a reason how it can be done. So there's always when there's a will, there's a way, even though this sounds cheesy, but that is very true. I was watching Elizabeth Carlson earlier, a live video of, yes, I was scratching my nuts, they itch. Did he really say that? And when nature calls, shit, I'll scratch them bitches. Smell like peanuts. Did he really say that? Yes, I said it. Smells like peanuts. Good old Planters with a good old guy, the logo with the, you know, his legs crossed, leaning against his own peanut with the good old glasses on. That guy smells good. Planters peanuts. That guy's foul. I love changing algorithms, man. You think my fingers smell like peanuts? Crazy. Sometimes too easy to get y'all. So what is he going to say? What did he really smell like? I'm not really going to say nothing. I just want to fuck with y'all. So your imagination can run wild. So I lost what I was saying for a second, since I wanted to be funny and cute with y'all. Oh yeah, so let me just get back to what I do remember. So it's like I'm at the journey now of just allowing my spirit team to be more hands-on, have more faith, and not let someone else's thoughts creep in my mind, and then my emotional response. Oh, I was talking about Elizabeth Carlson. Thank you, spirit team. And not let my emotions trigger me and do something stupid, which is awesome because it brings back to the foundation of Elizabeth Carlson's live she did yesterday, where she was talking about if you don't control your emotions, you can do something that can cost you your life or the rest of your life. You can end up in jail for doing something stupid, you know what I mean? Just because your emotional triggered you to do something that you didn't logically think out or calm yourself down first. You just got passionate and bam, right? So she does have a lot of techniques that work that I was utilizing today during her live session. So what? I couldn't even get my own voice out. So what are they? One of the tactics she was talking about is breathing techniques. So you would hold one of your nostrils, you would take this finger, basically you would hold one of your nostrils just like this. Breathe in deep
and then release it, and then exhale with your other nostril. It's a little nasally, you know what I mean? I'm smoking a good. But that helps you calm down your heart rate, and it just soothes you out. She was talking about another. Her tactics are backed by science, so I'm not the expert in this. I'm just regurgitating and showing you what I saw her do visually, and then scientifically she could break that down. Oh, how it helps us internally. And then the next tactic she was talking about was putting our hand, if we're stressed, put our hands around this region right where your hairline is, and just put some tension on it, and that will stop the blood flow from going to the back of your cortex, I believe. When we get upset and angry, same thing, our blood rushes back to the back of our brains, where that's like our reptilian mind, and we want to get aggressive. So if we catch ourselves at that moment, if we have the luxury of doing so, which we do, we got to make, most of the times we do. It just depends. You know what I mean? If you're in a situation where you have to defend yourself to get out of that situation to be safe, I don't think you're going to have time to do that, right? So if you have the safe space to do so, attempt that tactic. Put your fingers right here and then just squeeze it and just hold it, and that stops the blood flow from getting in the back of our brains. Hence, then we can calm ourselves down with the breathing tactics, and we'll stop our reptilian brains from presenting certain ideas that at the moment sounds like a good idea, hence a solution. And then once you do that, hence solution, then your logical brain kicks in and sees what you actually did. And then you feel bad and horrible, like I've always done. The perfect analogy is like Bruce Banner shrinking down the size. That was 22 minutes, 25 seconds. If you know, 7-7. Shrinking down to size in his human state, looking at his bare hands, then looking all around him and seeing all the destruction and chaos he caused because of his rage. It's the perfect example. You don't want to be your own Incredible Hulk and turn into your worst enemy, your worst nightmare, right? So that's something that Bruce Banner has to deal with daily. And he uses breathing techniques to keep his anger down so he won't transform into the Hulk. Because if you're a Marvel's fan, you know once he transforms into the Hulk, that rage reptilian brain takes over entirely, and it's hard for Bruce Banner to take the steering wheel, in a sense, to get control back over the beast. Hence, Scarlet Widow would always calm him down by rubbing his wrist and saying sweet lullabies to him. You know what I mean? Some motherly tactics used on kids, right? So that's a perfect example to use when we catch ourselves getting enraged and you want to do something right away. And since I've been back to back, seeming like I've been battling so much, it's not seeming like it is actually, that's facts. It's easy for me to get triggered, and I don't do those tactics. I use recording as my way of transmuting my anger to avoid PTSD as best as I can, or avoid that thought or that pattern to just stay in this vessel, I'm working on the patterns of breathing and grounding more often versus being so responsive and triggersome. So that's a journey that I'm just willing to transparently showcase with the world. It's a duty of mine. Fortunately, and at times unfortunately for me, I don't like being nasty and so forth. But we're a collective, and I must showcase all of my sides of myself in order to be authentic. If not, then I would just be a highlight guy. And that would not be fair for you or anyone else's growth for the future, to become a better version of themselves, because they don't have a example to
to build off of, or to study and to build upon that path that I'm more than willing to share with everybody, so we can have some guideline to go off of. These are the do's and these are the don'ts. I think I'm going to wrap it up on that. I don't want to go too long, but life is great. It is fantastic if we sit back, like Elizabeth Carlson did say, and it was funny when she said this 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 tactic method, I believe. And if I'm wrong on any of the steps, of course you can correct me, Elizabeth. And her name is with an S, not a Z. I learned that today. Even though I see it every day, I just don't think about it. But yeah, go check out her website. She's doing another tour, I believe. And then go to her website, and she will have all the latest information, so I won't mislead anybody. And get your tickets. I think she's going to, I forgot where she's going. She just said it earlier, but my mind's everywhere. Yeah, the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method. If we all catch ourselves, or this is a tactic we can use if we're like overwhelmed or so forth, about to lash out. We look in front of us and say out loud 5 things we see in front of us, right? It could be anything. I see my cell phone. I see my table. I see my bed over there. I see my TV, electricity, the art on the walls. You know what I mean? It's just, and after you name 5 things you see, then 5, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then 4 is like name 4 reasons why you're grateful for those items. And I forgot the rest at the moment. It slips my mind. But the moral of that method is to get back into the now and don't think about what has happened, because that it has already passed. It's easy for us to say now, right? But it's something we can catch ourselves doing. Once you start once, you can do it again. It's just forming a habit. That's all it is. You catch yourself before you lash out, and then you name 5 things that you see in front of you, and then you ask yourself, why are you grateful for these things? And then it just brings you back in that moment of why you're doing what you're doing. And maybe that happened to attempt to knock you off course of your mission because misery loves company. That happens to a lot of us. If you don't have haters, then you're not doing it right? Or it could be God giving us a sign to let us know that it doesn't matter how good or focused you are, there will always be curveballs in life that happen, and we must maintain focus, and we must know how to respond when those situations happen. Because it's not about what happened to you, even though it's easy. In hindsight, this makes more sense after you go through what you go through. Oh, baby Jesus. I lost. I shouldn't have said that last night. Okay. Oh, yes, right. When God gives you signs, God sometimes does it to show us that it doesn't matter how focused we are in life, curveballs can come, and we must maintain our faith regardless of that. And God always tests us on how we respond to the situation. It doesn't matter what happens to us, it just responds. It doesn't matter what happens to us in the sense. What really matters and what God is really looking at is how we respond to every situation, and what does that heart do. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. Just got some confirmations. So that's a nugget for us to all remember. As best as we can, write it down, have visualizations. Like I haven't used sticky notes in a minute, but like I have journals and notepads that I have creased open on purpose, and I prop them on my desk. So when I catch myself, my mind rambling, wanting to overthink things, I look immediately at the notes that God told me to write. Look at my songs I'm writing for my album and so forth. And I was like, okay, bet I'm almost done. And I have my eureka moments. And I just catch myself coming back to reality versus getting lost in my own thoughts. And I have something written down that says, remember, Zoe, you're not your thoughts. You're the observer. You're the observer of your thoughts. Mercury retrograde is getting us all. But yeah, I think I'm going to end on that. I was about to say, yeah, but I love you all. I'm going to end on that because I think I'm losing. I'm not losing it, but the station is basically getting turned off. The Spirit team say that's enough for now. So yeah, see, it's already gone. So I need some water. That Mercury retrograde's kicking our ass at times. So let's do our best to write down notes, affirmations, visualization boards to keep us on track, because the world can be very chaotic at a lot of times. And if you don't have a vision in mind, then you're going to find yourself just bouncing anywhere to get some short-term satisfaction when your soul is craving for true, honest guidance and knowledge, not this fluffery that these low-frequency media stations want us to stay hooked on, Netflixing and Hulu all day, and keep us outside of ourselves. But that'll be another time for another topic. I love each and every one of you. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode of No Filter Daily Motivation and Think Differently on this beautiful whatever days you may happen to land on this video. But on my planet, it's 4:03 a.m., July 9th. Wednesdays, hump days. And I love you guys tremendously. Don't turn into the Incredible Hulk if you can. Don't be slapping bitches if you can. Love everybody. Forgive, release, and then rise. Okay? And thank God I brought this. I always bring this on the table too. Like I said, my visualization notes. When I find myself jumping on my left shoulder and he wants to slap bitches and say some things, I look at this love symbol, even though this is not really a heart. Rashad Jamal would tell you what it really is. But this helps me remind myself always, build off the foundation of love, because love is the strongest frequency. So all right, my Captain Planets out there, figure out what your roles are, figure out what you're really good at doing, write down your pros and cons, and see how you can be a impactful puzzle piece for this mission for the new Earth. It's okay if you don't know right now. I was sitting here a few days and not really knowing what the next step would be, and then I just got a premonition tonight what my next step is. I was like, bet, with conviction. So I was like, oh, bet, man, I was so lost. So thank you for that direction for now. There's going to be many missions, but I want more clarity and discernment, so I won't be attempting to do so many octopus missions and feel like I'm not completing any of them 100%. At least I got so many on the plate. Because that was one of my issues back in the day. I just attempted to do so much and not get shit done at times. I love you guys. Let me get off here. It's 33 minutes and 56 seconds, and I would love to be here all morning with you, all grand rising. But your boy got some things to do. I need to get some rest. Love yous. Take cares. Until next time. All right.